If you are using a list for every collection in your Android app, you are just coding like a junior. Meanwhile, a senior Kotlin dev knows that choosing a set or map isn't just about syntax, it's about performance and clean architecture. So today I'm just going to show you how to make the switch. So basically what happens is that Kotlin gives you 3 collections and each one has a specific job. Like let's see. So list is what is ordered, right? And duplicates are allowed in this. So your go-to for sequences of items. And meanwhile sets, it has no duplicates, which is perfect when every element needs to be unique. And then comes map, which is basically a key value pair when it's the best when you need to look something up fast, right? And each has two flavors, read only and mutable. So today we are going to just learn mutable list off and mutable map off, mutable set off. So that mutable keywords mean that you can only change it at the runtime. So we have add, remove and update, right? And then we drop the mutable and it's just locked forever, and that's why it's read only, right? So this is the distinction that matters in Kotlin. So you don't want your user interface actually mutating a list, right? It shouldn't touch that. But that's whole other video. So let's keep going. So as you can see the output here, which is exactly what we wanted and what we expected out of it. And since these are mutable, so we can modify them whenever we want. So let's start with adding to a list. So we have num.add 4 and println num, right? And then if we want to remove something from a list, we do it using fruits.remove, right? Dot remove function, right? So fruits.remove banana and fruits.add orange. So println fruits. So now here's a trap that a lot of beginners fall into. Like just take a look at this output carefully and you will see that the orange lowercase and orange uppercase sitting in the same list. Kotlin is case sensitive. These are two completely different elements, so always double check your casting when adding or removing. And printing students. And here each element has a pair so that two keyword is what creates it, right? And a key is connected to the value. This is basically a lightweight map entry. Alright, so now let's take a look at sorted. And here it's one line, right? So your whole list is alphabetically sorted. No loops, no custom comparators, right? And nothing. So Kotlin just handles it perfectly. And you need to watch one thing, that uppercase letters sort before lowercase of ascending values, right? So orange appears before apple in the output. If you want proper case sensitive sorting, then you just need to do println fruits are sorted by it dot lowercase if you want to customize it. So that's just a small tweak but a very much cleaner result. So basically the key idea is that you use sorted when you want a new sorted list, and we also have sort when you want to modify the existing mutable list, and we also have sorted by and sorted with. That's for the next video, which use for objects and custom rules. And that's how sorting works in programming language under Kotlin and Android development. And now we have find, and this is where Kotlin starts feeling a bit elegant, right? As we can see that, let's write our code and we will see that find, what it does, it scans through your list and returns the first element that matches your condition, just the first one, and nothing matches, so you get null. And that it dot starts with t is part is a lambda, right? Think of it as a mini function you are handling to find, right? And saying that hey, use this check each element, and it is just a Kotlin shorthand for the current element. So it goes like, does 1 starts with it? No, right? Does 2? Then yes, right? And then it just does done. Then what it does is it returns 2 and stops. No unnecessary looping is done after that. And also the same case as we can see with Apple. The same thing how we have used find here. As we can see that println starts with this, right? That's why we always use dot find after our function variable, right? We can see it here. Now let's talk about filter. Okay, so filter is basically the same idea, right? It's almost just a copycat of find, but but instead of stopping at one match, it just collects every element that matches and gives you a brand new list. Like, let's take for example here, what we can see here is that we created val number mutable list of from number 1 to 10, right, up to 10. And then we created even to find that if something when divided by 0 comes 0, right, divided by 2 comes 0, right? And that's where we use filter. So what happens here is that 8 percentage 2 equals to 0. What it does, it checks if the number is even, right? Even, right? So filter goes through everything, then picks out the matches and then returns them as a new list. So your original list stays completely untouched. Just remember that find gives you 1 and filter gives you all the remaining things that you want to filter them out. And at the last we have the map. This is where it gets really interesting in Android projects. So what map does, it doesn't filter out anything or find anything. What it basically does is that it just transforms every element in the collection. Let's see what we can do here is we have created val calculate number dot map, right? And then we have it multiply by it. That's what asterisk mean here. As we can see here that we have val calculate number dot map in it asterisk it. So what asterisk is doing here is that it is multiplying the number by itself. And we can see here that println calculate. So what it will does is that from up to 1 to 10 the number will multiply by itself and every number gets squared of it. So every single one, and nothing is getting skipped here. So you can transform types too. And you can transform types too. So what we have here is we just turned a list into a map in one line, as we can see here. For the first one, val numbers num dot map 8 dot string, right, 8 dot 2 string, and then we have dot 2 map. Then we converted basically a whole list into a map in just a single line. And in real Android work, this is how you exactly transform API responses into user interface ready data. That is actually a super useful kind of thing. You will reach this constantly here, right, as we can see. So that is Kotlin Collections, and more importantly, that's the mindset shift from junior to senior. It's not just about knowing the syntax, it's about knowing which tools fits the job, right? And if this helped, drop a like, it really helps the channel grow. Full Kotlin series is right here on the channel.